Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year to you and yours. It is me, Anna Edu, coming to you with the Inspirational Anna Show. As you all know, it's all about inspiration, it's about education, it's about helping each other to make it through this thing called life. Welcome to 2022. I'm excited about life. I'm excited to see what's about to happen. I'm even excited for the things I will overcome and the new person that I will discover in me. So, without any further ado, as usual, I'm going to start with a beautiful poem, a poem that I think will give us hope for the journey ahead. So, here we go. The poem says, For a New Beginning, from John O'Donoghue, and it's called To Bless the Space Between Us. In, out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to change. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delights when the courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground. Your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure, holding nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you'll be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. I love the last verse. It says, awaken your spirit to adventure. Again, awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm. For your soul senses the world that awaits you. It's as sweet as the sweetest song to my heart and my soul. Awaken your spirit of adventure. Imagine if you could just go beyond the dull, dreary self and lurch yourself into adventure. And it says, hold nothing back. I know that this 2022, I'm not holding anything back. I'm going to ask for the help that I need. I'm going to talk to the right people. I'm going to talk to the people who see what I see, the beauty of the world, and want to be part of a beautiful something, so that together we can come to make the world a beautiful and better place. And we can also come to uplift those whose hearts are broken a bit, so that they too can feel the adventure and can go into their courage. And then it says, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. Your soul knows what you're capable of. Your soul knows the beauty out there, and it's waiting for you to come. And on that note, I thought, how about we bring in somebody who knows about unleashing our inner beast, somebody who can guide some of us who don't have the courage because life is so hard on us. But if we bring in somebody who can guide us, maybe, just maybe, we will make it too. And so today I welcome Miss Sandra back to the Inspirational Anna Show for us to help you and I rock the world. Miss Sandra, what do you think?
Hello, Anna. I love this, to unleash the beast inside.
Ah,
And really to not hold back in 2022. I am with you because this is our year for every single one of us.
ooh, I have chills, Miss Sandra. I love it when I say something and somebody catches it. You know, it's like a game of chess. You move the piece, that person moves the piece, and it's a beautiful game. And with you, I'm not afraid. We're
Well, here we
going,
go. It's a brand new year.
it's a brand new year and we're going all out. So, Miss Sandra, before we go into the meat of what we're going to talk about today, please tell us a bit about yourself and what you do so that whoever is listening to you know who they talk or listening to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year to all of you. My name is Sandra Leigh, and I am absolutely passionate about helping individuals reach their potential.
Mhm.
And I've been doing that since I was very little. My background has been almost 35 years of doing personal development work and doing corporate culture transformation in large global organizations. And what that means is I help people look at the behaviors that they're demonstrating to be the best performance that they can give, to be the best version of themselves, and then ultimately their companies are the best versions of themselves. And
Mm,
I've had a great opportunity to coach over 11,000 people in my career. And I can tell you, and I said this last time, 80% of those people are unhappy because they live their life according to someone else's expectations.
mm.
So I'm all about helping you figure out what makes you authentic and how do you move forward in your lives. And that's what I do.
That is awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, anybody listening, I know that we all face this issue of living by what somebody says or being bogged down by life. We all go through that. So, today, Miss Sandra and I are going to help you to. So, I think it'll be a good idea to grab pen and paper so that you can take down some notes. Otherwise, we're going to give you Miss Sandra's website and everything, or you can connect with me because I'm connected to Miss Sandra. And because I'm connected to Miss Sandra, I'm on a roll. So let's go, Miss Sandra. The first question is, we talk about goal setting and goal setting and goal setting, right? What does goal setting mean?
It's a great question. And it's very timely because this is 2022. So, what does it mean for all of you listening? Think about, what have you experienced in the last 2, 3 years with this pandemic? What have you found that's important to you that maybe wasn't important now that it was before, and now things have changed? Everybody's changing. So we all have dreams and desires and aspirations. So you could have a dream. It could be you want a new job, you want to start your own business, have a better relationship with your partner. Maybe it's to lose weight or quit smoking, eat healthier, learn a new skill or hobby, or just simply perform at your best. And so you can be one of those people who sits back and wishes that would happen, or you could sit back and complain because it doesn't happen, or you just say, you know I have the power to make it happen. And you are the only one who can make it happen. So goals is the route to help you make that happen.
Mhm, mhm.
And I'll tell you
So,
more about that as we go on.
yes, goals is, I like what you said. A lot of times we think, oh, if I know this person, or if I know that person, if only my parents had raised me this way, or if
Right.
only my parents had carved a legacy for me, forgetting that our parents themselves went through some kind of hustle before they got to wherever they got to, if they ever got to their goals,
Right.
right? So please, I want us to stress on the fact that we have to take responsibility for our own lives and where we want it to go. So I need you to stress upon why that is a bit far more important even than the goals that you're setting.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. What it is setting the stage for goals. Many of us have experienced some sort of trauma, challenge in our life, situations that maybe we don't feel so great about ourselves, and it sits deep down inside. But I can tell you that whatever you're feeling is not your fault. And so you have an opportunity, just like you said, Anna, we can sit and blame our parents and blame everybody else, or we can take ownership and say, this is my life, regardless of what happened to me. And it doesn't matter if I'm 15 years old or I'm 80 years old. Anywhere in between, it doesn't matter. I have the ability to make a decision about the life I want, and I can go forward, and I can show you how to do that in a moment.
Mhm. Awesome, awesome. So it's like driving a car, right? You're driving a car, you're going from point A to point B. You're the one in control of the car.
Exactly.
So there's a destination that you're trying to get to. You're the only driver in that car. You're not going to ask somebody to come and drive with you. You know what I mean? You're
Yes.
the only person in front of that steering wheel going to that destination. So, would you say that is a good analogy of being the ones controlling our lives and its story?
It's exactly a great analogy. If you ever do dream analysis and you look at if you dream about driving a car or being in a car, the car symbolizes moving forward in your life. If you are driving it, it means you're in control of your life. If someone else is driving it, they're in control of your life.
I like that statement. If you're driving it, it means you're in control of your life.
Yes.
Just like when you're in the car and you're driving, you don't have a choice but to be in control
Yes.
of that car. The
Exactly.
minute you try to get somebody else to drive it with you, issues happen. And many of us have, at one point or the other, given our lives to others or just given our lives to circumstances and
Mm.
happenstances, and it goes on. So let's say you've made that mistake,
Mhm.
right, of turning this car called your life over to somebody else, and you're feeling helpless and you're feeling restless and you're feeling like this is not going well and you feel like that person has power. You have bought into that person's power so hard that you can't even see yours. Miss Sandra, how do we fix that? Because
That's a great question.
that
Picture,
is like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
When you ask that question, I'm visualizing two mountains and there's a space between them. Maybe there's 20 feet between them. And
Yeah,
you're standing on this mountain with your family or anyone who you feel unconsciously perhaps controls you.
right.
And then you want to get on the other side. Think about what happens when you're a child. Of course, you're going to always do what your parents want. And
Mm-hmm,
we're so used to doing that we grow up and we still follow that same model.
mm-hmm,
So it's not, I would equate that to, I'm not suggesting that we're all immature, but it's that moment that we grow up and recognize I'm an adult. I no longer have to follow everything my parents say, still
mm-hmm,
respecting culture, religion, and all of that. But
mm-hmm,
I have the ability to set my own path. So I'm
mm-hmm,
going to jump from this mountain to that mountain. So I have to give myself permission.
mm-hmm,
And the other thing is I need to know that everyone that I am aspiring to be with right now, which is not what I want, right? I'm used to being with my family or anyone that's expecting me to do something. That it's okay to jump to the other side. They have their own way of thinking, and I am caught up in that. But I'm entitled to my own way. And
mm-hmm,
there's nothing wrong with it. It is not disrespectful. It is not rude. You don't want to criticize everybody for
mm-hmm,
what they're thinking, but you have the ability to change that.
mm-hmm.
And for example, your family may have certain traditions that everybody gets together to celebrate a certain holiday. But maybe you want to start a new tradition with your own family.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you can say, you know what, I've loved this tradition, but I want to create my own. And
Mm-hmm.
you might get family members that say, you're breaking up the family. What are you doing? And put their opinion on you. But remember, it's only their opinion, and you are entitled to yours. People will not stop loving you.
Oh
They might,
my God.
they won't
Oh
stop
my
loving
God, Miss Sandra, say that again.
you.
Say that.
When you choose to carve a path
Uh-huh.
separate from all your family traditions,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you're going to abandon them all, but it's okay to have a couple of your own. Your family will not stop loving you. I guarantee it. They might yell at you. They might tell you you're selfish. What are you doing? But that's okay. You say, I love you guys. You go ahead and do what you want to do, and I will join you on other events. But this one, I don't want. I want to try something else. I want to create my own tradition for my own family.
Miss Sandra, that sounds nice and fancy. But what if no matter how much you look into your heart, you can't do it? You know how we always have to attach can't, right?
Yes,
How do you dig yourself outside of that can't, that
oh,
limit you've placed upon yourself?
yes. It's a great
Meanwhile,
point.
deep down inside, you can hear a voice saying, we can do this. How
Yes,
do you break that? Because, it's one thing saying it to the family, it's another thing you yourself, even gathering the courage, because saying it to the family is the final act. Right?
yes, yes,
But how do you build that thing inside of you that
yes,
one day you will release that inner beast, that inner
yes,
diva that
yes,
says, this
yes.
is me?
Right. And well, part of it is what we talked about last time, is defining who you are. Separate and apart from your family. What is important to you? What are your values? And
Mm-hmm.
usually our values are similar to the family of origin that raised us. They're
Right.
usually the same if they're healthy values. But really take time out to have some self-awareness. Who are you and what's important to you? And what do you want to accomplish in this world? What's the difference you want to make in the world? Some people might, like my mother told me that I should be a doctor or a lawyer. That's what she believed, and for years I believed that.
Yeah.
And that is not my potential. Personal
Mm-hmm.
development is my potential. That's where my heart is. That's where
Mm-hmm.
my passion is. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm in flow. I'm living my dream. I'm doing what I love
Mm-hmm.
versus someone else's expectation. So that's
Right.
why the first step is to take time out to decide what is important to you, not let anyone else's influences affect your thoughts. Then you got to look at your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
because this is how you set the stage for setting these goals. Your mindset means the way you think, and the way you think is based on what you believe about yourself. So you could have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset or a combination of both. And here's an
Mm-hmm.
example. If I have a fixed mindset, I might say, I am not good at this. I'm an idiot. I am stupid. I am never going to be able to do this. Especially if your family said things to you that made you feel incompetent. So you're going to bring that subconscious belief into your current day, and your mindset's going to say, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But there's a way to change that to have more of a growth mindset. And a
Mm-hmm.
growth mindset says, you know what? I did fail at this. I don't know how to do it yet. I can learn how to do this, and I'm going to find out how to do this. So, what you want to do is self awareness about who you are and what's important to you, and then have an open mind to learning. Be willing to learn what it is that you don't know to achieve what it is that you want.
I like that. Be willing to learning. Be
Yes.
open to learning.
Yes.
Please stress more upon that for us.
Yes, I'll tell you what that looks like. What that looks like is recognizing that every step you take towards your goal, every step is helping you achieve mastery. It's helping you achieve competence. It's helping
Mm,
you get better at what you're doing. It's
mm,
not a waste of time. The other part of it is knowing that you got to get input from other people. Some
yeah,
of us feel shame and embarrassment for who we are, so we will not ask for input because we're too embarrassed. We don't feel good enough about ourselves. So if I was to open up and ask for feedback and someone said something negative, I'd feel crushed. But
right,
a growth mindset will say, yeah, it's not going to sit so well with me, but I do need to hear this. So
right.
you ask for input, you ask for feedback, and you say thank you.
Mm.
And the other part is when you see people doing what you want to do, don't get jealous. Don't try and pull them down. Look
Mm.
at them and say, what lessons and inspiration can I get from this person? That's what a growth mindset looks like.
Growth mindset. Please explain that again, because I think all of us, because we all want to grow, right? But
Yes, we do.
sometimes it seems like some people have it easier than us. And then instead of
Right,
working with them or, you know, whatever, we get jealous
right.
of them. So
Yes, yes.
help us understand how to not get to that point, because it's so defeating.
That's right. That's right. So part of what we need to do is look at our beliefs. What do we believe about ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
And one way you do that is when you get triggered, when something upsets you. The only reason we get upset is because we're triggered. It makes us what it does is it brings a subconscious belief to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel deep down inside I have a belief that I'm not good enough, and somebody says something and I get triggered and I feel upset about it, I'm going to feel like an idiot. And I might blame them for those feelings when they did
Right.
nothing to make me feel like an idiot. I just naturally feel that way. And that comes from my beliefs. So the first thing we've got to do is look at our beliefs. What do I believe? And the way you can figure them out, there's many ways, but I'll share one way, is when you feel something, ask yourself, why does this bother me so much?
Mm-hmm.
Because they make me feel like an idiot. Well, why do you feel like an idiot? What did they do or say that makes you feel like an idiot? And I
Mm-hmm.
call it peeling away the layers of the onion. Keep asking that question, and you'll get to the raw issue of what's really bothering you. And you can
Mm-hmm.
ask yourself, did I ever feel that at another time in my life? And what's happening is they're triggering how we felt as kids. And what's interesting is we are
Ah,
adults, but the feeling feels like it did as a helpless young child when we didn't have the experience or the mental capacity to deal with it. We didn't have
right,
life's experiences to deal with it,
right.
right? So
So,
that's a really important point to recognize that as an adult, when you're feeling that bad, you're feeling it as a child, which is why it's so overwhelming and we keep it buried.
you'll find that some emotions come up and they're a little
Yes,
too strong. It's not
yes,
necessarily about that particular moment, but about certain emotions that you've pulled along. Well, not maybe pulled along, but you didn't have a choice. But maybe you never dealt with it. You didn't have the mental capacity, the emotional capacity to deal with it. And it continues to live with you.
right.
So then it triggers
You got it.
things in the right now. So when
Yes, exactly.
it triggers to the right now, does that stop you from taking the next step forward? Because I think I've seen that in myself and in others. And how do you overcome that? Because life is moving on. Life is moving on. It's going. What do you do, Miss Sandra?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It causes fear. It keeps us stuck.
Hmm.
And so there's a lot to it, but to simplify it for our discussion right now is recognize that whatever you're feeling is not your fault. It's a carryover from your childhood. And
Hmm.
so you can recognize that is how I feel, but I want more in my life. I have goals, I have dreams, I have things that I want to accomplish in my life, and I feel stuck. I
Mm-hmm.
no longer want to be stuck. And
Mm-hmm.
that's going to suggest that you've got to be prepared to address these emotions that you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
don't be afraid of them.
I
Let them
like
out.
that. I like that. You have to be prepared to address these emotions that you're feeling. But
Yes.
what if you feel like those emotions, if you address them, will cause problems? You know, when you address it, it will release you from all these entanglements so you can
Yes.
move on to the goal that you set. But
Yes.
what if in our minds, oh, what if this? What if that? How do you bulldoze your way? And when I say bulldoze, I mean bulldoze. How do you bulldoze your way so you attack those fears
Yes.
and do what needs to be done?
Yes. Well, I can tell you that for some people, dealing with buried emotions is very, very scary. So I know some people have kept them buried for years. It's like a pot that's boiling over and the lid's going to blow off. And so you might want to have someone beside you that you trust, whether it's a counselor or a coach or a very good friend who can help you to be there with you as you release your emotions. But the other thing is know that you're not going to die. You're not going to fall apart. You're not going to, your limbs aren't going to fall off. You're
Are
going
you
to feel
sure, Miss Sandra? Are you sure?
I'm positive. You are going to feel very vulnerable. Know that you will. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the first time I divorced and I ended up with joint custody with my kids. And I was used to being with my kids all the time, and then I was sharing them. And so when I had to pass them through the babysitter to my ex-husband, I cried constantly, nonstop. And I knew that I had to go through that emotion. And I
Okay.
cried and cried and cried. I would work and try and hold my emotions back. As soon as I got on the elevator to go into my car and drive home, the tears just came and I cried all the way home. And then each day it got less and less and less. But I knew it was a necessary process. You've got to feel the emotion. And what happens when we don't is it stays buried and we were very closed. And what some people do is they drink, they do drugs, they have other addictions that they use those to keep the emotion away. And it doesn't change anything. It doesn't
It
change
doesn't
anything.
change anything. It doesn't solve the problem.
No. No, you've got to be willing to let the emotion out. So you can do it in a safe space, whatever safe space is for you. If you're
Mhm.
feeling like a child, you're going to need a good adult, either a coach or a counselor or a good friend who's capable to support you when you go through this, as you
Yeah.
cry and punch pillars or whatever you have to do. But what the next step is, how do we get out of it? How do we move forward? Number one, be prepared that it's going to hurt. It's going to feel vulnerable, but I can go through this. And
Mm.
to know that I have a goal in mind. And
Mhm.
then you start to work towards your goal.
Mhm.
And we can talk about that in a minute when we're ready, but that's sort of the next step is how
Oh
it,
my God. Every statement you make, I wish we could play it over and over and over.
it's just to recognize that you're okay and you will be okay. The
Mm.
last piece in my life that held me back was my fear.
Mm.
Because I felt a fear of abandonment and betrayal all my life, I dealt with it with my relationships, with my kids, with my family, with my friends, with myself, but I didn't deal with it with my work, and I didn't know it was a subconscious issue. And when I
Mm.
learned that people in my work aren't going to betray me, they're not going to abandon me. It's a whole different, it's not the way I grew up, but that was the thought that was embedded in my subconscious mind.
Right.
Right. And when I learned that that's the case, it's like that was the last piece that was holding me back. And now I am just flying. I'm soaring because
Oh
nothing,
my God. I
I have
like
no more
that.
fears. I
I'm
have no more fears.
flying. I believe I can fly.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
believe I can touch the sky.
Exactly.
I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly
I
away.
didn't know you could sing. That
Oh,
is
you just
wonderful.
triggered. That's it. You
That'll be our
triggered
theme
the
song.
singer. You triggered the singer in me. So
That'll
now
be
you're
our
going
theme
to have
song.
to make me a superstar.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you want to move forward, so if
Right.
you know there's something you want in your life, number
Mhm.
one, give yourself permission and start to go after it. But I think I just want to finish one thing on the previous question you asked me. You can't, it feels like you're bulldozing through, but you really can't.
Mhm.
What you're doing is you're taking small steps
Mhm.
to, once you've identified what you want, to start to move towards it. So, and we'll give you one example. It might be really scary to tell your family that you want to do something different. And you're going to be shaking in your boots. You might throw up before you have that conversation. You might be so full of anxiety, right? And anxiety means we don't have control over our lives. So
Mhm.
when I go to my mother and I say, listen, I appreciate everything you've done for me in my life. And I know that this is important to you, but I want you to know that I want to do something slightly different. It is not a reflection of how I feel about you or your choices, but it is a choice that I want to make. And I hope that you can support me. And if you don't, that's okay too.
Mhm.
That takes courage.
Yeah.
And then you start to do it slowly, slowly. An example is you go to a dinner party where your family is rude to you and you say, and you decide first, I don't want to go there. I will not go. That's the first step. And then when I feel strong enough, I'll go. And if my brother or cousin or whoever starts being really rude to me, I'm going to ask him to stop. And if he doesn't, I will excuse myself and leave the party. Like, that's what I mean. It's not bulldozing. It's not coming in saying you're all bad. You are who you are. I am choosing not to participate.
Right. That's the diplomatic way of doing it.
Exactly. God bless you. You be you. That works for you. I'm happy for you, but it doesn't work for me.
And I shall excuse myself. And that feels so empowering.
It does. I have something. Did I talk about this book last time? Emotional Blackmail.
Yes, you did.
Yes, that's the book. That's the book that will help you step by step. Words you can use when people are too strong and you need to stand up to them. Read that book, Emotional Blackmail. It's very, very helpful. Absolutely.
Awesome. So now,
yeah, go ahead.
So now we understand goal setting. We understand we have to face our fears. We understand that it's okay to tell ourselves that certain actions are not acceptable.
Right.
So now we've gone through all those steps. Now we've arrived at, I want to be a millionaire.
Right. Don't we all? So this is how we set our goals. So we started by saying, what is it that you want? Right. Whether it's being a millionaire or having a new job or a better relationship. We talked about mindset, having a growth mindset, being open to change, giving yourself permission. So the next step is have the end in mind. What is the exact end result that you want? So let's take I want to lose weight. Okay, so and why it's important in the first place is to figure out what you want, because you will never achieve your goals if it's the wrong goal for you.
Right.
If your goal is what your spouse wants or your parents or your boss or whomever, it won't work. You've got to have your own goal. And if you don't, you won't put in the effort.
Right.
So here's a question for everybody listening. Think about something that really excites you, that gets you out of bed in the morning. That you just can't wait to do that. Right? What is it that you love to do? If you won the lottery and you had no limitations, what would you do? Right? And so think about what it is that you want, and it comes easily to you because you love it. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. When you think of your goals, make sure they're aligned to a purpose that means something to you.
Yes.
So think about, let's say I want to lose weight. So my goal will be very specific, and you fill in the blanks. Here's the first word: by whatever date, I want what. So let's say by June 1st, I want to lose 20 pounds.
Yes.
Instead of just saying I want to lose weight. It's very specific.
Yes.
It's very specific. So you want to, so really you have the end in mind. Make it specific, whether it's the type of relationship you want, the type of job you want, whatever your desire is, your end desire, make it very specific. Then you set the goals. You want to make sure that your goals are manageable. And maybe one big goal is enough. You don't need 10 goals. So here's what I use when I do goals. I create a document that has 3 columns in it. And it says Sandra's goals for 2022. And the first column is my goal. The second column is the activities I will undertake to accomplish that goal. And the third column is how will I know I'm there? How will I know I've achieved it? What does success look like? Whatever words you want to use. And so let me give you an example. So the goal on the left side column says, I want to lose 20 pounds by June 1st.
Yes.
The activities, and I just put them in bullet point forms. The first one might be, I will research all the different ways available to lose weight. So it could be diet, exercise, fasting, whatever options there are.
Right.
My next step is I will decide which one I want to use.
Okay.
Which method I want to use.
Right.
And these are all little bullet points. The next one is I will create a plan. So let's say one of them is around food. So in my plan, I will figure out which food is acceptable for the diet that I want to do. And I will throw out all the food in my house that I can't eat. Then I'm going to plan my meals for the week. And then I'm going to create a shopping list. And then I'm going to go shopping and buy those foods.
Yes.
Then I'm going to prepare the food and put it in the fridge or the freezer. And then part of my plan I'm going to choose an exercise plan. Am I going to walk? Am I going to dance? Am I going to work out? Am I going to cycle? What am I going to do? And then I'm going to create an exercise plan. And maybe I'll do 30 minutes a day, three days a week. And maybe I'll do 15 minutes for the other ones. It doesn't matter. But the point is that I know my specific goal, 20 pounds by June 1st. These are all the activities. How will I know I'm there? Is number one, I will have a healthier meal plan process, and I will always be eating healthier, and I will have lost the weight. And maybe I'll tone, I'll build up my muscles, or so you put the 2 or 3 things you want to accomplish. And here's the power of that. When we think of, oh God, losing weight, I can't imagine, right? But when you actually break it down, what does it specifically look like? The steps I'm going to take, and you just check off every activity as you do it. And it builds momentum. It builds confidence. It feels good because you're accomplishing something. And if you just follow those steps, like how simple is it to go online and look at all the diet options and exercise options?
Yes.
Right? And you'll feel the ones that resonate with you. And so you may not know how to accomplish your goal. You know what your goal is, but you haven't got a clue how to do it. Just start searching online.
Research.
Just start searching. Yeah, exactly. And you'll see ideas and they'll make sense to you.
I like that. I like the way you started with the big goal of I want to lose weight. Right. So which can be overwhelming. Just the thought of it sometimes can be very overwhelming. Right. So then you said do 3 columns.
Yes.
This is the big goal. I want to lose weight. Then the second column is how you're going to lose that weight, correct?
Right.
Break it down into small achievements.
Yes.
Exercise, eat healthy, sleep better, drink water, fast, and whatever. And then the third column is, what is the third column?
It's what success looks like. How will I know I've accomplished this goal?
Because then by that time, for me, I'll be looking like a sexy chick.
You already do.
Stop the cars on the 401. Looking good.
Yes. Yes.
So when you break it down, then it makes it easier. Instead of saying, I want to lose 20 pounds. Yes, you've said it. You've written that down. Right. That is your goal.
Yes.
Then the second column is, how am I going to go about it?
All the activities you're going to undertake to accomplish that goal.
And the third part is looking fly as hell.
Exactly. And so usually your column 1 and your column 3 are very similar. As you made it very specific. I use this methodology in organizations for years and years and years. And it helps people because I can tell you, working with thousands of people, many people are intimidated by goals. They sound good, but they never accomplish them. But
because it holds you responsible.
Yes, exactly. And so if you really want to do it, if you really, really want to achieve that dream or whatever is important to you, and maybe my dream is to lose weight or quit smoking or whatever it is, it's going to be up to me to lay this out and then to make myself do it. And I want to talk about something else, which is a much bigger topic, but it's the concept of neuroplasticity. And what that is, neuroplasticity. It's how you can create permanent change. Neuroplasticity suggests and says, it's scientific, that you can rewire your brain. And it's a bigger topic, but I'm just going to give you a quick visual. In your brain, picture your brain. There's 2 halves put together, and picture an arrow, right? And the arrow would be a habit of what you do every day. I get up every day, I brush my teeth, I go down and I have a coffee, I read my newspaper, and I go off to work, for example. So picture this arrow that's etched in your brain. We all have neurons. So a neuron would look like a little starburst. And there's tons of neurons in our brain, and they all have a little tail. And we pass messages from one neuron to another to another. And the way they're formed in your brain, think of that arrow that's etched in your brain. That's all of your neurons, the way they're working together to pass the messages, the habits that you have formed. And here's what's powerful. And this is the latest research in personal development. Is that you can actually physically rewire your brain, which means you can change how your neurons speak to each other by practicing something new. So let's go back to what we said earlier today. If you have a growth mindset, you are setting the stage for neuroplasticity to happen, which means your brain will rewire itself to do what you want to do. And here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, don't give up. Know that every time you are trying something new and you are practicing it over and over and over, you will attain mastery. You will get good at it. So, looking at my goals, these goals and this new way of living and exercise is not me. My brain's wired differently. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? You can change that just by believing and being motivated by knowing that your brain is rewiring itself if you keep practicing over and over and over. And eventually you will take that etched arrow and you'll change the direction of it because you are physically rewiring your brain. It's fascinating.
It is fascinating, and this is called
Neuroplasticity.
neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. That's right.
So please explain it again because I like
Yes.
it.
Yes. Oh,
Because I'm
yes.
having certain thoughts, and I'm always having
Yes.
certain thoughts.
Yes. Yes. I'm
So
giving you a mini version of it, but
I
we,
think I think people need to know
yes,
this, that just because you've been at this habit forever doesn't mean, if it's not working for you, that is, it doesn't mean that's who you are.
that's
So
right.
this neuroplasticity, if you can explain it again so that we
Yes.
get it, so we
Yes.
have
Look,
hope, because
yes.
I think it gives us hope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What happens is you're actually born with just millions and millions of neurons when we're born, and based on how your life is, those neurons will take different shapes, different
Mm,
patterns in your brain based on how you live your life, how your family of origin lives their lives. So you have these patterns that you form, right? And
mhm,
so that's what you're used to. And just think about when you walk in the woods and you walk the same path, or you walk through snow and you've created a path.
mhm,
That's what your habits do in your brain, right? And what that
mm,
really means is how all the messages get passed in your brain to your body to do whatever it is you need to do. But
mhm,
what's interesting, and this is what research tells us, is that you can change what your brain is doing. You can change the shape of it. You can change the shape of your neurons and how they all work together. So you can
mhm.
physically rewire your brain to accomplish what you want. That's what's
Wow.
powerful. And you know that elite athletes and sports coaches spend
Mhm,
on average 3 to 4 hours a week on brain and mind science to think differently, to act
mhm,
differently.
mhm,
I can
mhm.
tell you at 62, in this last year, I've spent a lot of time in brain and mind science, and I am faster and sharper than I've been in a long time. My memory is better.
Mm,
And when I was and I've been learning a lot of new skills this year, and
mhm,
there's times that I struggled through it in the sense that I wasn't getting the results I wanted right away, but I
mhm.
knew from a neuroplasticity point of view that I am rewiring my brain. So I kept going and going and going, and then I hit that point, and it's happening automatically for me now.
And
It's
you haven't
easy.
looked back. I'm feeling
No.
it. I'm
Oh
feeling
my
it.
God. It's like a whole new lease on life. But,
Yeah.
but for that to happen, I had to have a goal, and I had to have a sense of purpose in what I'm trying to accomplish. I
Mm-hmm.
had to create a growth mindset to make it happen. I had to be
Mm,
willing to try, willing to ask for feedback, and willing
mm.
to listen to it and keep going and going and going. And I've reached a point now, and I will always keep growing. I'll never
Right.
stop. But
Right.
I can't even put into words the excitement I'm feeling about what 2022 is going to do for me, because I'm going to make it happen.
Mm, mm.
So
I
the
like
point
that.
is we all have the power to make it happen.
We have the power to make it happen. But then you said you asked for feedback. You know,
Yes.
that accountability aspect of our
Yes.
lives when we're trying to do something, when we're trying to achieve something. Why is it a necessity that we ask for feedback from
Oh,
others?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Sometimes we feel
Yeah.
like, I'm doing this and that. But what is asking for feedback from another person do for you?
Well, first of all, there's a caution in there. And so if I am trying to break away from my family of origin and do something different, or people that my entire community, we're all doing the same thing, we all think the same, we all have the same beliefs. And if I'm asking them for feedback, they will put on the same beliefs that I'm trying to get away from.
Get away
So
from,
they may
yes.
not be the right person to ask for feedback.
Right.
So you ask for feedback from people who think and act like you, people who are doing what you want. So, for example, when and I didn't mention this in the beginning, I did last time, I help personal development practitioners reach their potential by offering business opportunities to them. I'm a
Mhm.
national director for a company called Life and Balance Careers. And when I started my role as a national director, I had the roadmap of what I needed to do, but I was learning and I was getting better each time, but I wasn't achieving the
The
results that
goal.
the others were. So
Right.
I asked them all, how do you do this? What happens when I experience that situation? How do you handle this? And
Mhm.
they all gave me feedback, but they are all like minded people. They all
Yes.
understand the principles
Right.
of neuroplasticity.
Right.
And they all applauded me and said, I'm so happy to hear you asking for feedback. So it's important. Although I might have been a little intimidated in the beginning because I wasn't where they were when I started,
Mhm.
but I was in a group of like-minded people in a community that all wants the same thing. So
That's critical
yes, it is.
to
It's
make sure
absolutely you
you're
need
surrounding yourself with
yes.
people who have the same mindset as you, not
Yes.
just anybody. How important and necessary is for you to be surrounded by people who are traveling on a similar or on the same path with you, or maybe even ahead of you. Why is that important?
Oh, it's critical. It helps you grow. It gives
Mm,
you permission to be who you are.
mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm,
it's like selling something to the wrong client, to the wrong customer. You want to be with people that validate you. You want to be with people that support what you're doing because you're going to learn and grow from them and they're going to learn and grow from you. It's going to
mm,
give you confidence. A,
yes.
because you're learning and you're in an environment that everybody says, yes, this is good. If you're with the wrong people, they're going
Oh
to say,
my
what are you
God.
doing? Who cares? That's not important. And that's not going to help you have confidence. And you're certainly not going to grow from them. Yeah,
No.
I believe we should all be with someone who can help us grow. It's nice to help other people grow, but who's there to help you grow and help you
Mm,
expand your mind? Look for
yes.
someone who's doing what you want to do and ask them to be your mentor. Ask
Beautiful.
them if you could have a conversation with them once a month just to
Right.
get their feedback.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh, it's powerful.
It's powerful. So you just use this word, ask, ask,
Yes.
ask.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like that little word is the difference between where we are and where we want to go.
Yes. Yes.
Because I find that a lot of times where you want to go, you have no experience, you don't know how to get there,
That's right.
but you want to get there, right? So tell us why it's important to cultivate that muscle of ask, that courage to ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to hear no. Tell us why that is like the glue that binds where you are and where you want to go together.
It's a critical step. You won't get there without doing it. So look at this. You have a goal of whatever it is you want to do. And if you have no idea how to do that, how are you going to figure that out?
Mhm.
So you can start by doing a search on the internet and see what's out there. And you can't trust everything that's in the internet. So
So
you,
before you go
yeah.
on,
Mhm.
sometimes we think ask is just going up to somebody and asking them. But you just said you can go on the internet and do your research.
Yes.
That's an act of asking
Yes,
as
it
well.
is. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
So
So
you could you depending on what your thought process is, you can ask the universe. I can say I can declare it openly and say, listen, this is what I want to accomplish in my life. I will be launching a program at the end of this year. And so I know what I want to do that, but I am not skilled in how to do the technical side of it. So I hired someone who's an expert at that. And
mhm.
she is guiding me. I'm filling in all the content and all the videos and everything. So versus, I mean, I look it up on the internet and that teaches me the big picture how to do it. And then
Right.
I went and I asked people that I know and said, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a person who can help me build my online training program.
Hmm.
And so I asked people. Then they introduced me to different people. I spoke to them and I found the one that I wanted. And now I
Hmm.
ask her, what do I do? How do I do it? Right. And so I have that help. I have a dream. I have no idea how to do it technically. Now I know. I do
Hmm.
what I'm good at. She does what she's good at. So if you want to accomplish something and you're not sure how, start asking people.
Mm-hmm.
But I would suggest you inform yourself first. Don't
Mm-hmm.
go in blindly. It's like
Yes.
you want to go in and buy a car. Don't just go in and let the salesman tell you whatever he wants to tell you. Learn about it first. Go in informed. So you can do a search on the internet to get a big picture idea. Then you go and you ask people who you think might be able to help you, and they will direct you to someone else. Can you help me, or do you know someone who can help me? Can you
Mm-hmm.
direct me to where I can get this information?
Beautiful. So for example, um, you want to get to a certain level, right?
Right. Mhm.
And the level that you want to get to, you have no idea how to get there.
Right.
Before, let's say I want to get to a personal coach, a whole different level, right? But I don't know how to get there.
Right.
Before I come to Sandra, what are some of the things I have to do so that when I go to Sandra, at least I'm not coming in with an empty mind, but Sandra has to know that I know a little bit so that she will know where to start from. In other
Right.
words, when I go to Sandra, how do I let Sandra know that I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot? So
Right.
how do I prepare? Because a lot of time preparation, they say, is the door to opportunity.
Yes. Yes.
So
Of
how
course.
do I let Sandra know that, okay, I know this little bit, but
You know,
uh-huh.
it's actually really easy. All you need to do is know what you want.
Mm,
That's all. How,
that's
and
it.
you may, and you know, and sometimes it's not as easy to get there if you're not sure, but have an idea just to say, you know what, I know what I don't want.
Mhm,
Because if you decide to work with a coach is skilled at helping you figure that out. We know
mhm.
the exact questions to ask you to help you figure that out. But whatever it is that you, in terms of preparation, just know what you want. I want a different job. I want to be healthier. I want away from this abusive family, whatever it is. We all know what that is because we tell ourselves every single day. If you just dig deep inside, you know because those thoughts are in your head all the time. Every single person I've ever spoken to, everybody knows what it is. We just don't always open up and let it out. That's your first
Right.
step. That's the best preparation you can do.
Well, Miss Sandra, you and I could go on,
I
and
know.
we will.
Yeah, we will.
But so if somebody wants to get in touch with you, let's say the person is so inspired by you and all of that, how do they get in touch with you? Because I know that each time I speak with you, I feel empowered to achieve my next goal.
Oh, that's wonderful. Mhm.
So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, you're so easy to talk to, you're very real, you use your own life examples. So it's not like you're pulling things from the sky. And I think that is very good when you're trying to work with people because then
Sure.
they don't feel like you're a perfect you know how life is. Sometimes we like to put people in a perfect box, but that's not
Yes.
who you are. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what is the website?
Yes. My website is Sandra at, or sorry, the website is connectwithsandra.com. And on that website, if you go to the blogs, there are a lot of blogs articles in there that you can read that can help you. There's tons of them in there about how to believe in yourself and understanding what happened when we were kids, and there's a way to contact me through that website. If you are looking for business opportunities as a personal development entrepreneur, you can go to nextlevelmentor.org. Nextlevelmentor.org.
So nextlevelmentor.org.
Right. And the other one is connectwithsandra.com.
And how about email? All the emails can be found on these
Yes,
websites.
absolutely. There's ways to contact me through all of them. You can reach me at Sandra at connectwithsandra.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Miss Sandra, as usual, I knew we would rock this and people stay tuned. Because Miss Sandra and I, Lord have mercy, Sandra is on her own level, achieving her own goals, being passionate about life, living it. And me, you all know me. It's a non-stop thing, and I'm telling you, I am grateful to all of you for supporting me the way you do, for responding when I call, and for holding my hand when I'm able to say, I can't do it. It's a bit too much. I'm grateful to all of you, and I know that with you, with me, and with Sandra, we will change the world. So, Miss Sandra, thank you very much. We will be in touch and we'll be bringing these folks more information. Have a
Absolutely.
good
Thank you
day.
very much. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
And we will be in touch, Miss Sandra. Ladies and gentlemen, again, it's the Inspirational Anna Show, the show that aims to bring you hope, inspiration, and joy. And once again, stay blessed. Happy New Year. Don't forget to ask for the help that you need. Throw away all fears so that you can reach your full potential. It's been Anna Edu, Conversations for the Soul. Be encouraged, be inspired. Bye bye.